Hey, good to have you back. Today we're taking a look at the great old standard How High the Moon that was written by Morgan Lewis and made famous by the great Les Paul in about 1951, along with Mary Ford. Les Paul was one of the inventors of multi-track recording, and that was one of the first uses. Sort of a fun thing, and when you listen to it in that light. All right, so let's begin by doing an analysis of this tune. It's an important tune, an important chord progression. It's been used many, many times before. So the one chord is a G major, and as we can see, we're in the key of G major, 1 sharp. And so we're starting on the 1 chord. Very often in jazz, we don't start on the 1 chord. There's all sorts of little tricks that happen. But this one, there's no trick. We just start right in on the 1 chord, and 2 measures, and then we go to a G minor 7, and what that should tell you pretty much immediately, if you look to the next measure, is that this is a 2-5 progression. So we have a 2 chord and a 5 chord in the key of F. So we've done a modulation from the key of G major to the key of F major, a temporary modulation, which is pretty standard in jazz music. And it's a cool modulation because it starts on the 1 chord, as I said, G major 7. And then when we do that shift to the 2 chord of F, we still don't lose that tonal center, right? So we've still got the G, and then to the 5, and then to the F major chord, a tone down. And now we've got exactly the same chord progression: F minor, B flat 7, and going a tone down to the E flat, right? So if you look at the centers here, G major, 2-5 down to a tone down F major, 2-5, a tone down E flat major. Now that is what I call a sequential chord progression. And if you recognize these things, it becomes so much easier to memorize your repertoire, and all your repertoire should be memorized. It doesn't matter how much you have. I don't care if you've got 1 tune. You got to be able to memorize 1 tune and play that 1 tune, and then just give everyone the impression you know another 100. That's important too. Okay, and then we've got a 2-5 again. That tells us it's a 2-5, and we go, and this time it's a 2-5 going to a minor. So A minor, D7, and then to the G minor, and you can hear that melody note on top, the flat 3. And then the next time it goes A minor 7 flat 5 to the G major 7. So this time it goes up a semitone, right? So first time, and then minor. Next time it uses the minor 7 flat 5. And then we go to the G major 7. And then we have a little turnaround, 2-5 again, and moving to the turnaround, which is right, or there's lots of different ways you can play it. I mean, if you're playing it in 10 chords, the same idea. Okay, you get the idea. All right. And then that gives us the first 16 measures. Now you can congratulate yourself, have a cup of tea or sip of coffee, and then now we're off into the next 16 measures. And as you can see, we are repeating the first 16 measures, at least, at least the beginning. So we have four measures repeated again. Wow, that's easy. Bonus, four measures. The next four measures repeated again. Same thing, bonus. Actually, all the way now to the ninth measure, to the 10th measure repeated. But this time we don't go to a G minor, we go to a G major. Then we turn around again a little 2/5 again, and the 2/5 does that sort of deceptive thing where you're back at the that classic turnaround down from the 3 chord, right? We're in the key of G major, 3 chord, B minor, and then a chromatic movement, or could have been chromatic. There it's chromatic, and then to the 1 chord. All right. So let's just go through that slowly. 1, and then that tonal center still pinned down. Now dropping down a tone. And then to our 1, the new 1, 2/5, and then to the minor, and then to the minor 7 flat 5, to the major, and then 2/5, and then everything is repeated. I'll just take it. 2, 5, 2, 5, to E flat, 2 and 5, and major 5 and 5, and then we resolve to the G major. Okay, so that'll give you an idea of what the chord progression is doing, and there are lots of very cool ramifications when you're playing over this tune, because of the modulations that are pretty consistent. The tune itself is not terribly difficult. You can hear what's happening there. But when you get it up to a clip and you start playing over the changes, or even not even at a clip, just playing over the changes and nailing those changes, this is a great tune to use to learn to play. This should be in your toolkit when learning how to play over changes. It's simple to memorize, but it's a challenge when you get those changes from major to minor, and a new tonal center, and then again the 2/5 and a new tonal center, and so on. So the first thing you want to do is memorize it, and what I might suggest to you is play the chord progression a few times, get a feel for the chord progression, and then start to play it a little bit. And then once you think, well, I've got it memorized, then don't look at a chart and write out your own chart instead from your head, right? That's a great way to memorize a tune. Write your own chart. All right, so that was How High the Moon, and that was a bit of an analysis. Good place to start. Doesn't matter what tune you're doing. You should really start with a strong analysis that makes sense to you, and because that analysis is going to inform all of your improvisation. Okay, I hope that was a help. If it was, subscribe, click like, down on the bottom there, and comments are much appreciated. If there's anything that you want to see or hear us do in terms of tunes or musical ideas that you would like to understand better, please let us know. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you real soon.